Greetings, Silverfang Dancer 98 here to talk about a new channel update. In this case, my channel is now going to be a mixture of dancing, some reactions, and what I like to call story time. In this case, the story time is going to be about various stories that either pop into my head or games I think deserve a movie which haven't gotten one yet. I'm going to be doing my best to be a narrator and explanation while also trying to voice different characters as a whole. I'm not sure how well I'll do at this, but I will try my best for you guys. The first game I'm going to be doing this for, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, a classic game to enjoy for GameCube or Wii since it has sequels in both. Now, as a whole, I am a big fan of this, but I myself am only mostly confident in the lore. So if I get anything wrong, let me know down in the comments and I will try and correct myself in future videos. As a whole though, this is my understanding and also story of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. It all begins with this medallion, known as Liran's medallion. A medallion that houses a magical aura that no one seems to understand. It came from the times of great fighting, a massive war that consumed the land of Tellius. No one knows the exact details of it, except for a few people that remember it from the historian standpoint. They've researched, they've searched, they've understood only pieces of that great history and that great battle. All they know is that it was the one time when the land of Tellius was truly split, when the human armies and Lagu's armies were in an embroiling conflict, and the gods themselves had gotten involved. Whether it be the champions of the goddess, or the forces of the dark god, this medallion was at the center of the battle. Now it contains a malicious aura. From what? Perhaps the dark god? Perhaps the negative emotions absorbed from that battle from the human forces. Perhaps even the gods themselves granted a dark seal. No one can know for certain, but it is interesting to know that it has, at one point, been safely guarded by royal families, noble families, and even great champions of each nation of this land. But now it's lost to time, out of the vaults, and it's trying to be tracked down, so its malicious aura does not affect those it should not. For if a normal person grips this medallion, they're overcome with a berserker rage to kill, destroy, and slay. As a whole though, no one knows who holds the medallion, but we can only hope that its current holder is one protected from this madness. The land of Tellius, the last great continent of this world. During the great battle, it was said that the other continents were washed and drowned beneath the waters from the floods given by the gods' anger. As such, we are left with these nations, the northernmost nation of Dayan, a nation known for its harsh climate and even harsher people, its military powerful, its king fierce, and its lands difficult to live in, but not difficult enough for a functioning kingdom to flourish in. Crimea, the land of the horses, if you would. Great plains, nice farming, and great trading ports. It is a kingdom that's more neutral than the others, thinking of its people first, versus nobility or power grabs. That's why it's similar to size in Dayan. Dayan has had to fight and claw for each piece of its land. Crimea itself simply maintains its land. They don't go south, they don't go east, and they don't try and claim the last island to the north. They are simply there to be. The theocratic nation of Benyon. It is more of an apostle state, if you would. An apostle that leads a council of bishops and dukes in the pursuit of maintaining their way of life. It is large for having conquered smaller nations that used to be all around it. No one knows what the old nations were called. And this apostle that currently rules is barely into her teens. Her older sister, who would have been apostle, mysteriously killed and avenged by her people who loved her dearly. The nation of Gallia, the land of great forests and deep jungles, home to the Lagoos, the beastkin, if you would. These Lagoos are known for their features of feline persuasion, such as tails, sharper claws, slightly different ears, and even feline eyes. And as such, they can transform into these beasts, into great saber-toothed tigers with powerful claws and jaws to crack even the stone, swift cats that are the size of panthers, able to claw through most people and jump over great walls, and their king, the great Crimson Lion of Gallia, who rules with a fair but just hand, and a calm demeanor with a level head, to make sure his treaties and people remain secure. The land of Goldoa, the land of dragon folk, who are powerful and large when in dragon form. In human form, they're simply humans with different features, if you would. They don't have the tails or claws of the dragon forms. Instead, they have unique eyes, hairs, and even markings or tattoos that they're seemingly born with. To the south of this great nation of dragons is Phoenix, a nation of the Hawk Lagoos, with their leader who is more of an eagle Lagoos, a eagle king, if you would. They're all mostly strong in their human forms, but rely greatly on their wings to propel them around a battlefield. With their talons, beaks, and wings, they can literally run roughshod over any enemy force that tries to invade their mountain kingdom. You need either good trained horses or flying mounts of your own, such as Pegasus and dragons. Or wyverns, if you would. Though their cousins of Kilvis is much different. They rely mostly on their swift beaks, as they are crow and raven. Yes, that was it. Crow and raven. They are ruled by a raven king, with most of them being crows. But it's not without its good points. Both nations live on mountainous areas, with their homes built into the mountains themselves, giving them freedom of flight and freedom of movement from their own perspectives. Each nation of this great land of Tellius has their own treaty with each other, either it be trade, marriage, or some other aspect. But peace is tense these days, as Dayan has gained a new king, King Ashnard, who seems to have his own agenda for the lands. However, for now, we'll be focusing on Crimea. This great land, like I said, is home to farmers, trade, and the horses. The Crimea Castle. The royal family as a whole is a fair people. They love their land and their people, and only require a basic military. They don't try and expand, they simply protect and nurture their borders and people. They won't bow to anyone, and they will live as long as they have their hope and love to carry them through. In this land, though, lives a couple. Griel, the man with the orange cape, met a wonderful priestess named Elena. They met while he was soldiering, and she met him while healing him. They soon became partners, in more than one sense, slowly becoming wed and becoming a powerful soldier and his priest wife, who eventually settled down and had a family after retiring from both their services. She cared for the children while he started a way to earn his own money, forming a mercenary band in the land of Crimea. Don't know where he is from originally, but it is certain that he was a very good soldier. After all, his armor is personalized and well suited to his physique, meaning that he would be at least a lieutenant or even a captain, perhaps. While Elena was a simple maiden priest, who was a good cleric. As he formed his mercenary band, he recruited the woman Titania, a knight of Crimea. Or so they say. She was a good soldier, but she felt constricted by normal knighthood, and eventually came with Griel. They formed the mercenary band and began recruiting others. While Griel raised his family and Titania raised her skills, they slowly formed Griel's mercenary band, a powerful group in the land of Crimea known for taking on all sorts of jobs against bandits, robbers, and those that would be less inclined to be okay with being a soldier then. Ike, the son of Griel and Elena. He has a sister, Mist, as well, but the story will focus around him. Ike is a young, upcoming swordsman. He tries his best to emulate his father's sword style while being himself. He doesn't like to be put down, but he does try his hardest. He's an honest and good soul, trying his best to live up to the name of his father's company of mercenaries and to be able to protect his family and his loved ones within the group. This story will test those feelings and values he holds dear, and even test his very family. But that is a story for the next chapter. This has been the prologue of Fire Emblem, the Path of Radiance. If you're interested, stay tuned. I'll be making more videos and telling the story as a whole about how this strange medallion and this land and this boy play such pivotal roles in the coming future. Thank you. This has been Silverfang Dancer 98, signing off and hoping you come back for more.